Jeepers Creepers is a 2001 horror movie directed by Victor Salva. A brother and sister driving home through the countryside find themselves pursued by a mysterious killer who holds a terrifying secret. But before we get into this creeper compilation, there will be full spoilers ahead. But if that doesn't bother you, then grab your frozen pigeon-flavoured popcorn and whip out your favourite sniff shooter as we dive into the Jeepers Creepers movies. So the movie begins with these fence posts just minding their own business, enjoying the nice weather, when we see a car coming down the road containing our protagonists, who we'll get to see any second now. Any second now. Any second now. Oh, hurry up, will you? I haven't got all day! So our main characters are Trish and Darry, but I'm going to call them Dish and Larry, because she's a dish, and I believe the name Larry went extinct around 2001. Anyway, Larry says,
I haven't seen a car in 50 miles.
Which is ridiculous, because not only is he in one, but the very next shot shows a vehicle just ahead of them, so they drive up behind it and check out its license plate.
Gay forever! That's mine.
That's a 6. That's sexy forever. That's mine. That's 5 to 2.
You know, I've watched this film many times over the last 20-odd years, and I still have no idea how this sodding game works. It make no sense, man! The drivers of the camper van ain't too pleased either, saying, Look at these young whippersnappers driving within the speed limit. How dare they obey the law? Now be a dear and pass me that blunt, will you, Ethel? I need something to take the edge off the smack. So Larry is questioning Dish about her last boyfriend, but she doesn't want to talk about it.
But you don't think I can understand the complex nature of your relationships?
Unless you can solve a Rubik's Cube with your feet while suspended upside down and blindfolded, then no. No, you can't. Then she turns on the radio. Welcome back to Root Vegetable FM, brought to you by today's sponsor, carrots. Have you ever wanted to eat a carrot but don't have any carrots? Well, come on down to Root Vegetable FM, where we're giving away a free carrot to every listener. Only while stocks last. No guarantee that carrots will help you see in the dark. Carrots are for eating only, not suitable to be used for a snowman's nose. Then we see a vehicle rapidly approaching them from behind. Check your mirrors, Larry! Check your mirrors! But instead of just pulling over to one side, Larry decides to swerve all over the road like a dumbass while the truck driver is like, Get out of the way! I need to claim a free carrot before they're all gone! He eventually gets past, but Dish and Larry are not very happy.
The hell is his problem?
Lack of carrots. It's enough to send even the best of us over the edge. Then they pull over for a stress piss, with Larry going next to a tree and Dish having a wee in a completely exposed field. Not that there's anyone around but I think you've got the pissing priorities the wrong way round. Then it's back to driving, until they spot that angry van man parked next to an isolated church.
What's he doing?
Looks like he's disposing of his dirty laundry, which is covered in blood, and in the shape of bodies. Phew! It's a good job he didn't see us. So they keep driving, but the baddie hops in his truck and starts following them. But their proper old car has a top speed of slow as fuck, so he's up their arse in no time. Yeah, arse. And oh no! He's bumped the bumper! You better have insurance, you bastard! Time for some tactical swerving!
Just don't kill us, okay?
Otherwise the baddie will have nothing to do this afternoon. So instead Larry decides to smash through a fence because it looked at him funny, and ends up disrupting a gathering of pigeons who were celebrating Lal Feathery Bob's birthday. I can't believe that just happened! You ran over Feathery Bob! On his birthday! So Larry tries to repair the bumped bumper by holding it together with a pair of kecks, which we all know is a solid alternative to rope. Dish is all like, well, today's gone a bit shit, hasn't it? But Larry wants to make it even more shit, and he suggests going back to check out the body disposal pipe, which is a truly terrible idea. Dish, being the voice of reason, is like, we are not going back, and that's that. But Larry says,
What if it was you back there?
Then I would want someone to get the emergency services. Now get in the car, shut up, and drive us home. Go back to the pipe. Can't believe you even suggested that. So they arrive back at the pipe and are greeted by these dodgy crows who are all like, Alright, mate, if you want to park there, it's going to cost you a $5. Do you have change for a tenner? Nah, mate. They get out of the car and find another crow next to the pipe saying, Oh, you don't want to look down there, mate. Some nasty shit down there, mate. But they have a look anyway, and it's pitch black so they can't see anything. Looks like you need a flashlight, mate. Good job old Joe Crow's got you covered, eh? How much? Tenner, mate. And let me guess, you don't have change for a 20. Course I do. What do I look like, a magpie? But then Larry hears a voice coming from within the pipe, and in a decision he will come to regret shortly, he climbs into it, much to Dish's disapproval.
You know the part in scary movies where somebody does something really stupid? This is it.
But her stubborn brother ain't got time for common sense, so he tells Dish to hold his feet. Then upon seeing some rats in the pipe, he starts flailing like a demented Tickle-Me Elmo. Why the hell do people always freak out over rats in movies? I mean, if it was filled with something actually scary like honey badgers, then I could understand, but rats? Get the hell out of here. So Larry falls down the pipe and we get this excellent shot of him in super slow motion as he hits the bottom. Dish shouts down to him,
Jerry, say something!
Beans! What? Beans! Then the cheeky bugger has the gall to blame Dish for his current predicament, despite it being entirely his fault! But then he finds one of the bodies the baddie dumped down there, and it starts wriggling so he unwraps its head. Oh, cheers, fella. I could hardly breathe in there, although that could be due to me no longer having any lungs. How's it looking? I'll be honest, man. It's gonna leave a scar. Oh, good. Chicks dig scars, apparently. Yeah, but only if you're alive. Then he dies, leaving Larry thinking, well, that was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, and will haunt me for the rest of my days.
Say something, you're scaring the shit out of me!
Beans! What? Beans! But seriously, though.
We gotta get out of here.
No, let's stay and feed the birds.
Ugh, sounds good to me, darling. Larry says he's going to try and find a way out, and tells Dish to flag down the next car she sees and ask for help. So Larry has a look around thinking, ooh, big bottle of red liquid there. Might chug that if I get thirsty. Then he notices his shoelace is undone, so all of the priorities are temporarily rescinded. Oh man, a leaky ceiling? Honestly, could this place get any worse? Are you going to tell him, or should I? Nah, he'll find out himself in a second. He shines his flashlight up to find the entire ceiling is covered in dead bodies. And I know they're supposed to be preserved or whatever, but that doesn't change the fact that these are the shittest looking dead bodies I have ever seen. I mean, look at these two, for God's sake. I've made better corpses out of plasticine. Meanwhile, Dish is keeping an eye out for anyone who can help, but those damn crows won't stop pestering her. God blimey, you've got a nice ass. I'd love to have a peck at that. The only thing you'll be pecking is your beak out of my boot if you don't shut up. But then Dish notices a van approaching. It looks like the baddie is back! So she hops in the car and struggles with the worst gear stick of all time. Seriously, whoever designed that monstrosity deserves a schlap, no matter how long they've been dead for. But it turns out not to be the baddie, thank goodness. Then Larry turns up and Dish does a good impression of me when I accidentally put on Ghostbusters 2016 instead of the original. So they keep on driving till they eventually find a diner. But before they go inside, they see the baddie's truck heading back towards the church. So they rush inside.
Excuse me, we need help.
Are you local?
Everyone is too busy enjoying their steak and chips to help, and Larry isn't helping either, acting like he's just seen a tapestry of dead bodies or something. Then the payphone next to them starts ringing, so Dish answers it.
Yeah, hello.
Have you seen the cats yet?
No.
Who is this?
Derry?
No, this isn't Darry or Larry. My name is, Cedric von Benglesmensch.
You have a torn shirt, right?
And you're about to forget that that phone is attached by a cable.
I don't know if it's a demon or a devil.
But it thinks you smell well good, and it wants to eat your eyes.
Fuck you, lady.
Well, that sounds like it went well. Can we just call the cops now so we can get the hell out of here? Right you are, Dish. But first I need you to fetch me a lubricant. My face is stuck to the glass. Once the cops show up, Larry explains everything he saw, but they're having a hard time believing him.
I told you, I grabbed one of them like this.
Yes, Larry. Manhandle the police officer. That'll surely go down well. But then the waitress interrupts them, saying there's some weird fella outside rooting through your laundry. So they run outside to find Larry's clothes all over the job. What the hell was he doing? I believe he was giving them a proper good sniff.
Looked like he was liking it too.
How so? He had a tremendous stonk on. Hard to miss. Everyone is pretty freaked out, so the cops offer to escort the siblings out of the state to make sure they're safe. But on the way, the cops get a call from their colleagues who went to check out the church, only for them to say it's on fire.
You sure that's not a couple of little pyromaniacs you're escorting out there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't set it on fire while I've been with them, you donut. Then all of a sudden they hear a big thud on the car roof.
Hold on, Central. The sky is falling.
Either that or there's an axe-wielding maniac on the top of the car. Oh, and now my partner has flown out of the window. Either that or she was pulled out of the window by an axe-wielding maniac on top of the car. Oh no, my head has been pulled through the roof of the car by an axe-wielding maniac. Well, what are the chances? Back to the siblings who somehow haven't noticed what's going on behind them. For the love of God, check your mirrors, people! Then all of a sudden a severed head bounces off the hood of their car, and they screech to a halt thinking, am I going mental or has it just started raining heads? They get out and Dish walks slowly towards the cop car, until she spots the policeman's severed head on the floor like, just give me a second. This decapitation has left me feeling rather lightheaded. Then the police car door opens and the baddie steps out, so Dish retreats back to the car and they both watch as he picks up the severed head and gives it a proper good sniff.
What's he doing?
Holy testicle Tuesday! Is he French kissing that severed head? Because it looks like he's French kissing that severed head! Oh, he's just pulling out the tongue to eat it. Oh, thank God for that. So they speed off, leaving the baddie to finish his dinner in peace. Eventually, Dish and Larry come across a house and stop to see if they have a phone they can use. This old lady comes to the door and is like, "You're not here to take my cats, are you?" "No, ma'am." "Please, call me Grandma Meow." "Okay, Grandma Meow, we're being pursued by a man who likes to eat tongues and is partial to a good sniff. Can we use your phone, please?" "You can if you can find it. It's buried under a veritable mountain of cat shit." Then Grandma Meow notices something odd, so she pulls out a shotgun and says,
"You got 10 seconds to get your ass out of my yard."
Personally, I would have just given him to the count of 5. Then boom, she shoots the bugger, and he explodes, but then he's in the house. What the hell is going on?
I mean, what the hell is going on?
So Grandma Meow waddles her way back into the house to save her 5,479 cats, only to reappear a few seconds later being suspiciously quiet and worryingly rigid. Rigid? Oh, you filthy little thing, Ken. Grandma Meow? Are you dead? "No, not yet. I'm about one toss away, though." Then we get our first proper good look at the creeper, which is what the baddie is called, by the way, and whoo boy! That's a face for radio if I ever saw one. Once again, the siblings leg it, and the creeper tosses Grandma Meow into an early grave. Well, not really an early grave. I mean, she's probably dying from toxoplasmosis from all that cat shit. So, really, I think the creeper did her a favour. They get back in the car and reverse out onto the road, with Mr. Creeper stood in their way. So they do what anyone would do in that situation, they try and run him over. But the slippery little bugger just does a funny little run over the top of the car. So they try and reverse, but he does the same thing again! Realising they're only contributing to his daily cardiovascular exercise, Dish decides to trick him by making him think the gears are stuck. So he starts walking towards the car, and then, surprise for the mucker! She pops it into gear and runs him down. To be honest, I don't know why that threw him off, really. He still had loads of time to prep his loud funny run, but there you go. Then, just to make sure he's down for the count, Dish runs over him again. And again. And again. Is he dead? I don't think so. He seems to be knocking back a can of Red Bull. Ha! They've been telling us for years and I haven't believed them until now. I'm going to have to try this for myself. Whew. Well, no wings, but I do believe I'm having a heart attack. Our heroes are understandably freaked out by this revelation, so they take off, running the creature over one more time in the process. Then we're at the local police station where this guy's being brought in saying, "Oh, come on, officer, I only shot the guy once," while Dish is on the phone to their folks asking them to pick him up. But then the crazy lady who was on the phone at the diner turns up to give us some law regarding the creeper. She tells them that every 23rd spring for 23 days it gets to eat, and whatever part it eats becomes a part of it. Why 23 days? Why not 24? Well, because that's just overindulgent, isn't it? Ah, I see. Then we see the creeper turning up to the police station like, "I need to eat myself a new leg and quick. I can't be flopping around looking like a wazzock. I've got a reputation to uphold." Back inside the station and the lights go out, so one of the cops goes to check on the cells downstairs, only to find the creeper eating one of the detainees. Fancy spending the night in a cell for urinating in public only to have your arm and leg being eaten by a monster. Talk about punishment not being relative to crime, eh? Upstairs the police chief says they'll take Larry and Dish to a holding room so they'll be safe. But Crazy Lady protests, saying that's where the creeper finds you.
Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers?
"Crazy Lady, you are crazy. Go home, lady." But then an officer downstairs radios saying the monster's on its way up to them, so everyone draws their guns. This one brave fella goes for a closer look, but is attacked from above. He does his best to try and convince everyone he's okay, but they can see right through him. "You up there! Stop gulping! It's gross!" The others try and get out of the station, but the whole building is on lockdown, so the front door is shut tight.
Why don't you dream up something useful?
And then, evening. Dish and Larry run upstairs while the creeper creeps towards Crazy Lady. It grabs her and gives her a good sniff, but thinks, old and overweight. No thanks. So it leaves her be. Upstairs, the siblings hide in a dark room before the creeper comes crashing through the door like it's insulted its grandma. It grabs the two of them and gives them a royal snifferoo before tossing Dish away in favour of Larry. Then the mirror in the room smashes and the police show up all decked out with riot gear and assault rifles. "You, the horrendous monster, let him go!" "No, he smells good. I'm keeping him." Then his head gets even freakier and Dish tries to reason with it, saying,
Take me. Whatever you want. You can take it from me.
That is awfully tempting, but I'll have to decline. Bye!" Then it flies out of the window with Larry in its arms. Dish runs out of the police station to try and follow them, but hang on. Wasn't the station on lockdown? The front door was shut, but oh, sod it, it doesn't matter. She watches as the Creeper and Larry disappear into the clouds, leaving her thinking, great, what am I going to tell our folks? Sorry, Mum, Larry was kidnapped by a flying monster that wanted to eat his eyes. And that's exactly the truth. As we see in the Creeper's lair, it's hung up Larry's skin before it shows off its brand new spanking Larry eyes, which it'll only get to use for a few weeks until its 23 days are up. What a bloody waste. End of movie. And there we have it, folks. Jeepers Creepers is a brilliantly original and thoroughly entertaining early noughties horror classic. It's the sort of movie which brilliantly subverted expectations before that sort of thing became annoyingly commonplace. And if, like me, you watched this for the first time not knowing that the killer was actually a winged demon, then that twist was mind-blowing. I absolutely love Jeepers Creepers and think it's a really great horror movie, which makes it all the more disappointing that the director is a despicable nonce. Jeepers Creepers 2 is a 2003 creature feature directed by Peter Eric Dofile. Hang on, I'm pretty sure this is directed by Victor Salva. Ken, think carefully about what I just said. Peter Eric Oh, I see, well played. Carry on, lad. On the last night of its feeding frenzy, the monstrous creeper sets its sights on a high school basketball team who must survive until the morning or become the creature's last meal. So the movie begins with some text reminding us how the creeper works. Then we're on a farm where this young lad is putting up some attract crows, which unlike normal scarecrows actually lure in the birds so you can shoot them. We also meet his dad, played by Ray Wise, and because owls are wise, it's only right to call him Stingray. Anyway, he's annoyed because his post puncher has a cold. Damn it, post puncher! Why do you have the immune system of a dwarf hamster? I throw my hat at you in frustration!
Really?
Did you give the post puncher a cold?
No!
Because if you did, I'll punch you in the dick!
I said I didn't!
But then Billy notices something odd. Mr. Scarecrow? Did you just move? No, I'm a regular non-sentient scarecrow. With gas. And toes in need of a serious pedicure. Wait a minute, scarecrows can't talk! Then it leaps into the air and starts chasing him. Stingray and Billy's brother Bally rush over to see what's going on and see him being dragged away by the creeper, who from this point on I'm just going to call Mr. Sniff. Oh no! He's lost a shoe! How's he going to breathe without his shoe? Billy! Corgan. Billy! Bob Thornton. Billy! Goat's Gruff. But unfortunately it takes flight and they can't follow him because they left their jetpacks at home. Well, that's their own fault then, isn't it? I mean, who the hell leaves the house without a jetpack? Idiots. Elsewhere, and we see this bus transporting a high school basketball team.
How long can they keep this up? Forever.
Or at least until I set the bus on fire to put us out of our misery. Anyway, they're on the way home after winning a basketball tournament. Though you wouldn't guess that by the look on Chinstuffer's face. It looks like someone's just made fun of his arse chin. Then suddenly the bus blows a tyre, which is a bit of a rude thing to do in public if you ask me. Anyway, the teachers, being Elijah Wouldn't, Coach Bus, and Mrs. Fist, go outside to see what happened and find a strange object lodged in the tyre.
What in the hell would you call that?
I believe it's called a 4-spike silver rubber wrecker.
Out! It's sharp as the son of a bitch!
I've got to be careful around them sons of bitches. Sharp as a 4-spike silver rubber wrecker they are. Coach Bus manages to remove it though.
What in the hell are we looking at?
I don't know, but we should probably call a dentist. Back on Stingray's farm, Bally is out searching the cornfield when his dog spots something. What is it, boy? The ground?
Drop something.
Not now, son. I'm having a staring contest with Comic.
Here, look at it.
Ah, looks like I won again. Anyway, I better be off. I'll see you same time next week. Ugh. Wait a second, where are you going? I have no idea, Ken. I have no idea. So Stingray has a look and it's some sort of monster knife. What is it, Pop? I dunno, son, but the damn thing really hates lamps. Then he and Bally get to making a weapon to take down Mr. Sniff. The Sniff Splatter 9000, named after the previous 8,999 attempts to make it failed. Back to the bus, and while some of the lads are getting their daily dose of skin cancer, Coach Bus catches the ladies doing something they shouldn't.
Lady cheerleaders. That's not smoke I smell, is it?
Because if it is, I'll have 3 sausages in a burger bun, please. Meanwhile, 3 of the lads go for a piss right next to each other because privacy is for losers. We've got Anthony Montana, Jock Cock, and Simon Pectacles, the latter of which seems to have it in for Sam Worthington's character in Avatar.
Hey, eat shit, Jake!
And I don't know whether this fella's trying to take a piss or trying to bang one off. What the hell was that? There it was again! Oh, you feathery shits! You pigeons are all a bunch of sick bastards!
Bastards! Stop clowning around and get your ass back on the bus!
On second thoughts, you stay right there. Now it's night time and the bus is still going despite the flat tyre. On board the bus, Chinstopher is whinging to his girlfriend Kate because he's finding it hard not to be a dickhead. But the number D wishes he'd just shut up and get some sleep like everyone else.
What the fuck are you looking at?
There's a suspicious looking pigeon outside. Yeah, I can see you feathery little bastard. One of the cheerleaders, Very Cherry, is having a strange dream about Justin Long back when he had eyes, and Billy after his red paint accident. But then she sees Mr. Sniff running through a cornfield, who throws a four-spike silver rubber wrecker at the bus. Not to worry though, it's only a dream so it doesn't matter. Except it does! As the real bus blows another tyre, which once again is unacceptable public behaviour. So they stop and the teachers whip out some flares and tell everyone to get off the bus. Mrs. Fist manages to pull out the spiky from the tyre and shows it to Elijah. Ooh, it's a belly button one. Let's add that to the collection. Hopefully we'll get a nostrils one next.
Coach?
No, it's a school bus, you dumbass!
Charlie?
Chaplin.
Charlie!
Sheen. Elijah knows something's not right and says to Chinstopher,
Get everyone back on board. Do it, Scotty.
before I make you smoke a cigarette through your chin dimple. Then as Mrs. Fist is laying some more flares on the road. Well, at least they're going up in the world. Aye, and probably down again with a big splat.
What happened? She flew away.
What, like on a broom or... Ah! Bloody monster legs have got me shoulders! Chinstopher tries to help him, but he gets taken. Hey, mate, I think you've got a nosebleed. Starting from your... brow.
What was it? It had wings. Big fucking wings.
Oh, great, we're dealing with a psychopathic passenger plane. They decide they need to defend themselves should their assailant come back, so Anthony Montana whips out some javelins.
You want to wait around so you can poke at that thing with sticks?
Dude, there's a significant difference between sticks and javelins. I mean, you don't throw the latter off a bridge to play poo javelins, do you?
Betty's flare gun. A bunch of flares for it, too.
Oh, that's great, Topless Tim. Now all we need to do is get lost at sea. And stop wearing a top! You're making your name not make any sense. Anyway, Chinstopher wants to make a run for a nearby farm, but everyone else wants to stay put in the bus. But then Very Cherry sees something by the door of the bus. What the bloody hell is that thing sniffing the door? Oh god, and now it's clinging on having a mega sniff. So it continues to have a good sniff and a lick before it mistakes the bus for a cocktail shaker. Very Cherry then passes out and has a weird dream about Billy and his dog having a running backwards race, and she once again sees Justin longing for the days when he had eyes. When she wakes back up though, there's no sign of Mr. Sniff.
It's gone. It came, it did its thing and went away.
But what the hell was it doing?
What do you think it was doing?
Having a world-class sniff? Exactly. It was picking out which of us it wants to eat. How do you know that? Justin Long with no eyes told me.
She's a fruitcake.
This thing has been around for thousands of years and that nothing has been able to kill it.
Has anyone tried dropping it in molten metal? Because that sorted the T-1000 out good and proper. She also tells them about its 23-day time limit, and tonight is its last night, so they only need to survive until morning, which is probably going to be easier said than done. So Simon Pectacles gets back on the radio to call for help.
Hello, is anyone out there?
Keith? No, this isn't Keith.
We have a serious problem out here. We need help.
Keith? Who is this? Keith! Okay, I think I'll try a different frequency. Elsewhere, Stingray and Bally are out and about when they come across a rather unusual-looking car accident. Wow, that's the first time I've ever seen a tree open a car like a tin of sardines. Then Bally hears Simon on the radio, so he tells Stingray where they are, and Stingray says he'll call the cops and then come and find them.
But what you've got to do is hang on. Can you do that? Hang on.
I'm not a cat on a clothesline, pal, but I'll try my best. The others are relieved that help is on the way. But then Mr. Sniff breaks through the roof and grabs Simon's head. Help! It wants my hair! So Kate sticks a javelin through the roof and... Ow! That's my second favourite shoulder, you shit! Then she has another go and... Ow! Oh, this is turning out to be the worst last night ever. And because it can't get the javelin out, it rips off part of its head.
Half its fucking head's gone.
Well, it's more like a quarter, mate, but I'll let you off considering the circumstances. I'm generous that way. Then manky old Mr. Sniff does something rather unexpected. He flies high up into the air and then says, "Eat shit, Windows!" Then comes crashing down on top of the bus. I hate to tell you folks, but you've got a broken window. More like 44 broken windows. That's an oddly specific number, Ken. Did you count them? No, I just took a stab in the dark and got it correct. Of course I counted them. Then it all goes quiet. Dead quiet. So Anthony Montana sticks his head out of the hole in the roof to take a look. Oh my god, guys! It's dead!
We killed it. Fuck you!
As you can imagine, they aren't keen to stick around to make sure it's dead, so they decide to take this opportunity to leave on foot. But they can't seem to get the door open.
It won't open!
Damn it, we're stuck! Oh, if only there were 44 broken windows to climb out of. Then the roof gives way and Mr. Sniff's wing falls in. So now everyone at the back of the bus needs to go under it to get out. Or they could just climb over the seats to avoid it, something which only the number D is clever enough to do, apparently. But when Topless Tim goes under it, it wraps itself around him, like a big veiny shower curtain. They try and help him out, but then they hear a big crunch before... I may be headless, but I can still fight, yeah? Hiya! Hwah! Bleh! Then they hear Mr. Sniff making some horrible crunching sounds as it devours Tim's bonds.
What's it doing up there?
Well, it appears to be ripping its own head off, and it's got a weird face hugger thing on the back of its nape. Now it's grown a new head with Lado's face, and now it's Mr. Sniff again. That's what it's doing.
There are two classes of people on this bus now.
What the will be eaten and the won't be eaten, fuck you, Scotty.
Yes, Scotty, if that is your real name. Chinstopher! So he wants everyone to vote on separating the group.
I want to see hands.
And not only that...
I want to see hands.
The number D ain't having it though and slams him against the wall like, I think you're forgetting that Mr. Sniff singled you out as an entree too, you peen-arse. Oh yeah, well, I guess I'm just a dickhead then.
You are so right about that.
D leads everyone off the bus as they're going to try and make it to the nearby farm, leaving only a couple of the others behind who are going to wait for Stingray to show up. But as soon as they get outside, Mr. Sniff starts chasing them, and Jock Cock gets nailed in the back of the head by a four-sided silver rubber wrecker, which despite the name works well on noggins too. Chinstopher ain't lucky either, as it impales his arm to a tree with one of its monster knives. The others try and help him, but just as they get the knife out, Mr. Sniff swoops in and takes him. I'm sorry I was a dickhead! Please delete my browser history before giving my computer to my folks! Elsewhere, Stingray and Bally come across Cherry in the middle of the road, so they stop and help. He asks how far it is to the bus, but she says,
It doesn't matter. You can't kill it.
My mahoosive harpoon gun says otherwise. Back to the bus where Simon Pectacles makes his way back inside through the roof hole. And this fella says,
What are you doing here?
Standing in the bus?
What are you doing here?
We're also standing in the bus. Then we're all standing in the bus together. And it's got my hair again! Why does it even want my hair? I haven't even washed it today! But then he lets go of him for some reason. And I've got to say, Mr. Sniff looks bloody terrifying in this shot. Anyway, he lets Simon go because he noticed Stingray rocking up with his Sniff Splatter 9000, which even has his monster knife on the end of it. Give me that back, you knife stealer! Okay, catch! Woohoo! I'm sky fishing! But then the harpoon detaches and Mr. Sniff throws it back at the truck.
You alright?
Yep, besides a broken nose, I'm fine. Not sure how the harpoon breaking through the window broke his nose, but okay. So Stingray reloads and gets ready to fire again.
Oh, you kids, get down!
Sir, this is not the right time for a boogie! But once again it doesn't keep the shit down for long, and it flies back into the sky. But with the cable now stuck through the bus, it almost topples onto the truck. And to make matters worse, it doesn't look like Mr. Sniff is letting go this time, with Stingray jumping off at the last second before the truck takes Peppy's advice.
Do a barrel roll!
Meanwhile, the number D, Anthony Montana and Kate find an abandoned truck just as Mr. Sniff finds them.
Fuck! Shit!
Jesus!
Fuck shit, Jesus is right.
Unfortunately, D has to ride in the back because he stood in dog shit on the way there and it stinks. So they drive as fast as they can, but Mr. Sniff matches their speed. D tries to slow it down with a flare, but Anthony has a better idea. Get down! Dude, now is not the right time for a boogie! Well, at least the truck isn't on fire, I guess. Thankfully, the others made it out before that, though. However, D now has a broken leg, which isn't ideal. On the plus side, though, the crash proved very expensive for Mr. Sniff, as it cost him an arm and a leg. So he starts hilariously leapfrogging through the long grass chasing D. And oh no! It's got him! Ah, please get off me! You smell worse than the dog shit on my shoe! But then, surprise for the mucker! Mr. Sniff gets nailed in the head by the Sniff Splatter 9000. Then Stingray walks over, but it's like,
Ha ha! Joke's on you! I've already survived a spear through the head once in this movie, and...
I don't think you got him, Ray. Oh, he's not done yet. Not by a long shot. Okay, maybe going a little overboard now.
6.5 hours later.
Stop! He's already dead!
And so the day is saved. Mr. Sniff's 23 days are up, and he very angrily goes into some kind of demonic hibernation state. Then we jump 23 years into the future, where these young'uns turn up to Stingray's farm, only to find the old man himself waiting patiently next to the Sniff Splatter 9000.
How'd you kill it?
Stabbed it right through the heart.
3,954 times. End of movie. And there we have it, folks. I think Jeepers Creepers 2 is a really underrated horror sequel, and while it doesn't have the benefit of the original's amazing twist, or characters as likeable as the siblings from the first movie, I still find it thoroughly entertaining, with enough new additions to the Creeper lore to make it well worth watching if you enjoyed the first. Jeepers Creepers 3 is a 2014 creature feature directed by Anons. After the events of the first movie, the county sheriff joins forces with a team of hunters, aiming to take down the villainous creeper once and for all. So the movie begins by asking the question, how many crows are too many? Before we get a title drop, which has me somewhat concerned because it looks quite shit. Then we see something flying through the air out of focus. And oh, it's a 4-spike silver rubber wrecker, on its way to wreck some rubber no doubt. But no, it's after this guy running away holding a Danny Trejo. Ha ha, you missed me, you inaccurate fool! Alright, that's it. No more Mr. Nice Creeper. I thought you named him Mr. Sniff. Oh, right you are, Ken. Then the man sees a car coming and shouts, okay, I'll help you, fella. What seems to be the problem? Well, I can't help you if you fly away now, can I? Bloody rude. Then after giving us some amusing facial expressions, he steps outside before the guy's Danny Trejo falls out of the sky, followed shortly by a hand? Don't worry, that'll make sense later. Ish.
Every 23rd year, for 23 days.
It eats 23 different sandwiches, in 23 different ways. Then we jump forward 23 years to the aftermath of the first movie, where the police find Mr. Sniff's creepy van, which from this point on I'm going to call the Sniffmobile. They all have a gander inside, and is it just me or does the police chief look considerably older and fatter than he was in the first movie? Well, it has been 13 years since that one. No, it's directly after the first movie, Ken. Yes, but this movie was made 13 years after the first. I don't follow. Time has passed in the real world, but not in the movie timeline. But why is he older and fatter? I swear to God. Anyway, I don't think I named him in the first one, so he's Chief Chafe now. The officers find a load of wrapped up bodies in the back. But then suddenly spikes come down and pierce this guy's arm, and he lets out a stock scream sound effect. Sorry, that was my fault. I pressed a button I shouldn't have. Then this team of specialists rock up, who are an anti-sniff task force of sorts, led by this fella who I'm going to call Black Hat, which is quite ironic because his hat is in fact white. Anyway, Chief Chafe gets him caught up to speed, but then... What the hell? Ooh, sorry, I pressed another button I shouldn't have. So they take the van to the police impound, and bloody hell, this fella has the straightest nose to forehead transition I have ever seen. But oh no, Mr. Sniff has landed on the back brandishing a very fake-looking axe, and he cuts the Sniffmobile free, which then drives past the cops with him riding on top, leaving them like, Sir, you bring that van back this instant! Sir? Sir! He's not coming back, is he? I wouldn't be so sure. He was having a good sniff on his way out. Told you. Ah! Please get off me! I can't breathe!
I don't think he gives a shit.
Then it takes off with him, leaving his colleague like, Sir, you bring him back this instant! Sir? Sir! Thankfully, she gets picked up by Black Hat and Chief Chafe, the former of which then tells them all he knows about the creature.
I know it, and it knows me.
It's my brother. What? Really? No. And bloody hell, look at Chief Chafe's hair. It's so fake you can see the seam where they've stuck it onto his bald head. Then we follow this terrible CGI crow to this farm where we meet another one of our main characters, Haggard Helen, who looks like she's smoked 40 a day since she was 15. And she's only 35 now, bless her. Anyway, she sees someone waving to her on top of this hill. So she walks over and, hey, it's that fella who was in the car at the beginning. Turns out he's Helen's son, who at some point was killed by Mr. Sniff. Oh, so he's a ghost then?
Stop asking, it doesn't matter.
Well, it kinda does, but whatever. Carry on, mate. He tells his mum that there's a piece of Mr. Sniff buried on this hill, and he's going to come back and collect it before it can be used against him. Then he walks off saying, "Right, now, where did I leave me spine at?" Helen's granddaughter then wakes up and looks outside her window thinking, "Ugh, there goes Grandma shouting at the tree again. I recognise her from something. Jeepers Creepers 3? Maybe. Anyway, I'm going to call her Sally Saddles, because she owns a horse and goes to check on it.
Good morning, handsome.
Morning, lass, how's it going? Oh my god, you can talk? Nay. That's better. She then goes to tell her grandma that she's going into town to get some hay, but Helen doesn't respond.
Grandma, you okay?
Are you okay? I'm not even sure she's alive, love. Back to Black Hat and, oh god, Chief Chave's hair looks even worse in the daylight. Christ, have they spray-painted the bastard on? Anyway, Black Hat tells him his team of sniff slayers are going to hunt down the creature and finish him off once and for all. They even have a team logo. But to be honest, whoever designed it needs to find a job they are less shit at. Then this truck rocks up with their new secret weapon, the Sniff Shooter 9000. Not sure how the barrels are supposed to rotate if they're soldered to the body of it, but then again, I'm no shooting scientist, so what the hell do I know? Oh, Dogbert, I told you to buy a Sniff Splatter 9000, not a Sniff Shooter 9000. Oh, sorry, boss, some old guy named Stingray beat me to it, eh? But this one
throws up a wall of fire. A wall of fire that nothing from this world or the next can get through.
Whoa, chill your boots, mate, before I come up there and fucking bray you. Meanwhile, Sally turns up at her friend's house to see if she can lend some hay, only to find that her dickhead brother has caught a wild rabbit and he's treating it badly because he's a dickhead. I'm going to call him Dick McDickhead, because that seems appropriate. Anyway, he sods off to go dirt biking with his dickhead mates, and his mum says unfortunately they don't have any hay they can lend Sally, so she's going to have to go to the store and hope they'll give her some for free. But not before paying me a compliment, I hope.
He does have a really cute butt.
Oh, stop it, you're embarrassing me. Oh. Elsewhere, the dicks are dicking about on their dick bikes when they spot something odd in the middle of a field.
The hell is that?
What, have you never seen a cow driving a tank before? Loser. No, next to it, dumbass. Oh shit, it's the Sniffmobile. They've all heard the stories over the years, so you'd think they'd leave it well enough alone, wouldn't you? But alas, they are the dicks. So instead they decide to piss on it and then throw rocks at the damn thing. With lugs here sounding like me talking to my geography teacher back in school.
Kiss my ass, you ugly old bitch!
But then the back doors open and they realise all the stories are true when they see the wrapped up bodies inside. Then the spikes give them all a good scare and they take off on their bikes. But then, go, gadget, harpoon! And it goes right through Dick's dick.
Come again?
Sorry, I meant his leg. His mates try and pull it out, but it's no use. And then he starts getting reeled in. Floppy takes off like a coward, but the others stay and help.
Maybe we could cut the cable.
With what?
Try the phone again!
Dude, if the phone couldn't cut the cable the first time, what makes you think it'd work a second time? But then, oh shit, Mr. Sniff is back. But oh man, why would you show Mr. Sniff during the day? He looks nowhere near as good during the day. Anyway, Dick's mates take off running, so he whips out a spear that looks fake as shit. He chucks the spear and BAM! It impales the dicks to the tree. Bang on, why are they raised off the ground? Did they jump in unison before it hit them?
I believe they were on the dirt bikes.
Ken, if that was so, then the bikes would be beneath them.
Ah, good point.
But Mr. Sniff notices the piss on his van and realises there's one dick left. And just as Floppy is about to get help... Oh, that looked shit. Very shit. Elsewhere, and Sally rocks up to the store, where we meet this guy who has a crush on her. I'm going to call him Freckles, because that's the name of his pet fish. Unfortunately, Sally isn't on the list to collect any hay bales, and I'm positive I've seen her in somewhere else, man. What have I seen her in? Jeepers Creepers 3? Maybe. Aha! The Midnight Man!
You just made that up, didn't you?
No, I didn't. In fact, I've got it on DVD. I'll find it. Give us a minute. Anyway, Sally takes off to see if she's got some credit elsewhere, but Freckles goes to buy the hay for her himself, and his dad knows he's doing it because he likes her and says,
You can do better.
Dad, are you out of your goddamn mind? So Freckles catches up to her and drops off the hay for her back at the farm. And, hey.
Is that your grandmother?
Yeah, she just really hates that tree. Freckles then asks her if she wants to help him deliver the rest of the goods, while haggard Helen ratches around in the dirt looking for that piece of Mr. Sniff. But she's getting really fed up of this bee pestering her.
Go away! Go!
No, I like pestering. Buzz, buzz. And hey up, looks like she's found it. Turns out it's that hand which dropped from the sky at the beginning. And then because she's an idiot, she takes off her glove and decides to touch it, and it latches onto her hand and lifts her up into the air while making whipping noises? Going on is what the hell?
I mean, what the hell is going on?
Back to Sally and Freckles, who arrive at the next drop-off. But weirdly, there's no one around. So they have a look around only to find this daft old bugger underneath his car. What are you doing? Hiding from Mr. Sniff. He already flew off with one of the workers, and the other two are hiding over there. Oh, okay then. I will leave you to your insanity.
What's going on?
I don't know.
But what I do know is this house could use a few more columns. Then suddenly they're jump scared by the missing worker, who has the slowest slide down the window of all time. Before Mr. Sniff lands next to them and has an almighty whiff, meaning one of them has something he wants. But for God's sake, will you stop showing him through the day? Then he tips over the truck and takes off with Sally, leaving Freckles thinking, bollocks. Big winged bollocks. Aha! The Midnight Man on DVD. Look, she's even on the front of it. Suck on that, Ken.
Suck on what? Your success in finding the DVD?
Yeah.
Well, you sure showed me, didn't you?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Black Hat and Chief Chafe turn up to the farm. Then they notice Helen's injured hand.
What happened?
Oh, nothing. I just got attacked by an angry cupboard drawer. Oh, you've got to look out for them. Ravenous sons of bitches. So Helen tells the fellas about the hand, that her son found it 23 years ago and buried it alive after giving it what for. Eat shit, hand! Anyway, Helen has trapped it in this pot and tells them if you touch it, then it shows you Mr. Sniff's secrets.
You see how it came to be and what is his.
Let me guess. We're not going to find out, are we?
Of course not, Ken. That's for Jeepers Creepers 4, which never got made.
I thought they did make a fourth one.
Well, they did, but it wasn't a continuation of the story. And don't you worry, we'll be getting to that one before long. So Black Hat wants to hold hands with it, but Chief Chafe thinks it's a terrible idea. Then the Sniff Slayers rock up to assist and they try and get the hand out onto the table. Come on! Get out of the pot, you clinging little bastard!
6.5 hours later.
So Black Hat gives it a whirl and has the same bizarre reaction Helen did. Back to the Sniffmobile and Sally wakes up in a sack. Then another sack tells her to cut the rope free using the knives on the wall. So she does and frees them both. The other one turning out to be Dick McDickhead, who she gives a hug to, but I'd have just decked the prick. So they need to find a way out of the van, but the back door is a no-go thanks to the spikes. So they check the front door and BAM! A spike fires out right through Dick's head. He deserved it because he was unlikable. Back to the farm and they get a call on the radio saying they've spotted the fiend driving to their location. So they plan on trapping him with a pincer movement and sending him back to hell with the Sniff Shooter 9000. And bloody hell, is Haggard Helen even alive at this point? She literally looks like a reanimated corpse, for Christ's sake. So they hop to it with Black Hand giving Chief Chafe a hint of what he saw when he touched the hand.
It's ancient.
And did it tell you how we can kill it? Yes. Yes, it did. And I'm going to keep it to myself for absolutely no reason.
You son of a bitch!
They continue down the road until they finally catch up with the Sniffmobile. So Chief Chafe leans out of the window with a rifle and tries to take out its tyres. But the bullets just ricochet back at the car. It's not working. I think it's bulletproof. Or how about you stop shooting because it's clearly not working? Then the Sniffmobile launches a rubbish-looking spiky sphere which starts chasing them, so Chafe shoots it, causing an equally rubbish-looking explosion. Then they see Dogbert closing in on their target from the other direction, but with their newfound knowledge of the Sniffmobile, they fear he's in for a bit of a surprise when he shoots the vehicle. Black Hat tries to warn them, but they're too busy blasting the Spice Girls to hear him.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really want. So tell me what you want.
And Dogbert opens fire on the truck, only to be immediately annihilated by the ricocheting bullets. What a goof! Then the Sniffmobile sends out another couple of bomb balls, which explode the cars off the road with some truly terrible visual effects. And the worst thing is, this all would have looked considerably less shit if they'd just set it at night. Thankfully, the old fellas survive and see Mr. Sniff pull up in the field across from them.
Cover me!
But I don't have a blanket! Fuck! So they decide to split up, with Black Hat heading for the Sniff Shooter 9000 while Chief Chafe distracts Mr. Sniff. But look out, Chief! He's whipped out his fake as shit looking axe. Ooh, you've done it now, you fake hair bastard. Those hats aren't cheap, you know. The Chief readies up for another shot, but then... oh no! A 4-spike silver gun wrecker! Completely distinct from the rubber wrecker because it wrecks guns, not rubber. and it looks like Chief Chafe is about to meet his maker, before Mr. Sniff is distracted by Black Hat, who has made it to the Sniff Shooter 9000. But oh bollocks, the thing is stuck and he can't move it. Then Mr. Sniff leaps into the air with his axe ready to deal a killing blow. But for some reason he goes into super slow motion, which is awfully convenient for Black Hat, who manages to turn the gun before unloading it right into the flying fiend. Then it comes crashing down on top of him anyway. Chief Chafe then watches as Mr. Sniff gets up, as if the extreme damage he just took meant nothing, before he, and I can't believe I'm saying this, uses telekinesis to lift Black Hat's body with the axe lodged in his face, before recalling the weapon back to his hand like he's bloody Kratos or something. Because that stupid-ass sentient van wasn't enough, you had to go and give him telekinesis, didn't you? Something which he has never used before!
Baffling. Utterly baffling.
And so the defeated Chief Chafe waddles off home to go and have a wank or something. Then we go back to Helen, who is still waiting for Mr. Sniff to show up, and is once again visited by her ghost son, who has clearly been working on his motivational speeches.
Whatever you think you can do, you can.
He then tells her that it's got Sally, and then Freckles turns up to also tell her it's got Sally. Then we cut to Sally, and oh no! It's got Sally! Even though we already knew it got Sally. Anyway, she's still in the van when Mr. Sniff turns up like, "Right, come here you, it's time for your stabbing." But then Mr. Sniff gets impaled through the head by the same spike that killed Dick McDickhead. Why would his own van impale him? It makes no sense, man! This leaves him with a terrible CGI, which then falls out for no reason. Sally takes this opportunity to escape, losing a shoe to the back door spikes as she dives out. But Mr. Sniff is well angry now and chases her. But then... Ah, oh, damn it. I knew I should have finished that can of Red Bull. He then throws a 4-spike Silver Sally wrecker at her, which misses. And then he throws his spear, which succeeds in taking her jacket off. Then he charges through the field, brandishing his axe, before he's hit by a truck on a road. What? Then the poor truck driver gets on the phone and is like, "Hello? Sheriff's Department? Yeah, I just hit a monster with me truck. Hello? Why would they hang up on me?" Ah! Then Mr. Sniff finally rocks up to the farm to reclaim his lost hand, only to find it nailed to the ground with a note saying, "Oh, bugger. They've finally figured out I'm 23 crows in a Halloween costume. Ah, oh, you crows are all a bunch of sick bastards! Bastards!" And so the day is saved. Freckles and Helen find Sally and have a group hug, and sometime later he gets on board the school bus from Jeepers Creepers 2, which makes absolutely no sense because he isn't in the second movie. Oh, and as a final tease, we then see Dish from the first movie, who vows to get revenge on Mr. Sniff in a grand finale that we'll never ever get. End of movie. And there we have it, folks. Jeepers Creepers 3 is unfortunately a big disappointment, and a significant step down in quality from the first two movies in almost every department. Jonathan Breck still puts in the work as the Creeper, but everything else just feels cheap and not very well thought out. Especially the decision to set most of the action during the day, and the worst thing of all is that it's just not very scary or thrilling. It's a real shame that after such a long wait from the second movie, this is what we got. And would you believe me if I told you this isn't the worst movie in the franchise? Jeepers Creepers Reborn watched this one and said, "Hold my beer." Jeepers Creepers Reborn is a 2022 creature feature directed by Timo Voronsola. A young couple on their way to a horror festival begin to have terrifying premonitions, hinting that they are the next targets of the recently awoken creeper. So the movie begins with this old couple driving down a road on their way to... where do old people go?
Bingo?
Aye, cheers, Leon. On their way to bingo. And hey, it's Dee Wallace! What a pleasant surprise. Anyway, Dee and her husband, Sharp-Nosed Neil, continue on their journey. And hey up, I think your scarecrow's missing an important piece. The scarecrow. But then Neil notices a big van creeping up on them. See what I did there? Eh? Creeping up on them? Eh, Ken? Creeping up on them?
Get on with it.
Yeah, sorry. Little do they know, however, that this is the old Sniffmobile, which you can tell because it has the same license plate. Only shitter. Then it starts honking like an angry goose, so Neil says, "Go around!" And thankfully it does.
You okay?
Not really. I think that just took 5 years off my life. So they continue down the road, but then Dee spots something.
Oh dear, is that the same truck?
No, don't worry, that's not the same truck. And that's not the same driver. Not disposing of bodies down a pipe. And ew, what's that smell? Oh, that's not me having not shit myself.
I don't think we were supposed to see that.
So they speed off, but then oh no, the Sniffmobile is on their tail again.
He must have seen us.
He couldn't have. I had the cloaking device activated. Neil, this car doesn't have a cloaking device. Shit! And this time it's trying to run them off the road. So Neil says, "Hold on to your tits, Dee. I'm going to try something." And he takes a sharp right turn, losing the bugger.
You okay?
Well, that's taken another 5 years off my life, so I'm due to kick the bucket any day now. So Neil whips out his notebook and Dee is like,
What are you doing?
I'm drawing a flower with a cat's face. What do you think?
I don't like it one bit.
Well, I'd like to see you do better. Rude.
I want to go home.
And I want a lap dance from Bayonetta, but it's never gonna happen. Well, never say never, lad. Cosplay is a thing, you know. Don't give me hope, Ken. Don't give me hope. Anyway, they head back out onto the main road, but then they see Mr. Sniff pulled over changing his license plate. And can someone please explain why the hell he has human hands? This is outrageous! Absolutely! Bloody outrageous! Then for some reason Dee tells us her favourite snooker player.
Ronnie?
Before they head the other way down the road. And then in a decision which would baffle the unbaffleable, they decide to pull over at the decrepit old building and check out the body disposal pipe. I mean, what do they think they're even gonna do? Tell it things were different back in my day. Before we see the entire opening scene was just a dramatic reconstruction for a TV show that this fellow was watching on his phone.
You son of a bitch!
Anyway, these two are our protagonists, who I'm going to call Chipper, as he's unnaturally cheerful for most of the movie, and his girlfriend Tweak, because she likes drinking pills. I'm sure I recognise her from something. Jeepers Creepers Reborn? Maybe. Anyway, they're on their way to a horror festival, which Chipper is excited about, but Tweak could care less.
2 words.
You guys are all a bunch of sick bastards!
That's 9 words. Close enough. Chipper is into urban legends, you see, especially when it comes to the creeper.
The creeper comes back every 23rd spring. It kills for 23 days.
Then what?
Then it lies back on the sofa, sparks up a fat blunt and orders a pizza. Really? Well, I don't bloody know, do I?
Wait, didn't they make a movie out of it? Creepy Creeper or something?
3, actually.
Oh, so they're doing the whole scream/stab thing. Oh, very clever. Go fuck yourself. Anyway, Tweak suddenly feels sick, so she pulls over to go blow chunks. And what the hell? Why on earth did they use a green screen for her getting out of the car? Could they not find the side of a road to film at? But then we see on the tree above her is a 4-spike silver tree wrecker. And hey up, it's Red-Eyed Joe, the albino crow. He was like, ooh, someone's preggers, I reckon. Shush, Joe, Chipper might hear you. But he's too busy checking out this engagement ring, which he plans on giving to Tweak at the worst possible time. Elsewhere, and we see our old pal Mr. Sniff waking up after 23 years, crawling out of this hovel like me after a rough night on the sauce. And he wanders over to this scarecrow like, me clothes, right where I left 'em 23 years ago. Then we see this car pull over, and out steps Tweak's friend, who is due to meet them at their hotel. But right now he needs to take a piss, which he decides to take far away from his car, despite there clearly being no one around. Except Mr. Sniff, of course, who sneaks up behind him and is like, I eat your head with my head. Wow, he didn't last very long. That's what she said. I'll give it a rest. Filth! Then he uncovers the Sniffmobile and gets tooled up because he's got a long 23 days of killing ahead of him. Back to Tweak and Chipper, who arrive at the hotel, and Chipper whips out this suitcase full of cosplay outfits for Tweak to wear to the festival. So she reluctantly tries them on and... Oh, sorry, that was me twanging a ruler. Woo, baby, try on another. Oh, yeah, I've always wanted to bang Edward Scissorhands. Wait, what? Then we're at the horror festival, where there are all manner of strange things going on.
I had no idea so many people attended these things.
Yeah, I think the 30-odd people here is a new record. Then oh no, this man has been shot with an arrow! Somebody help him! Nah, not really. He's just pretending to be injured because he's a tosser. Then he wanders off to spark up a wee smoky and notices an oddly placed hook on the tree above him. When suddenly he's grabbed by Mr. Sniff, who slams him on the hook and throws some 4-spike silver tosser wreckers at him, before wandering off? Hang on. Why would he kill some random guy that he doesn't want to take any part of? I fear this one is going to be more like a generic slasher movie. Back to Chipper and Tweak, who decide to play a game of throw the sharp object at the target, although there's a problem.
The sign says closed.
Where did you learn to read? This fella introduces himself as Hilly Billy, and while Chipper throws some throwing stars in Hilly's general direction, Tweak picks up a 4-spike silver target wrecker and says,
I've never seen anything like this.
Well, you clearly haven't seen the last 2 movies, have you? Neither had the director of this one, by the looks of things. Then Hilly teaches her how to throw them.
Now, the key to successfully throwing a blade is
to throw it. Like this? Ha! You're a natural. And I'm positive I've seen her in something, man. Jeepers Creepers Reborn? Maybe. Hang on a sec. Slaughterhouse! That's it, she was the bitchy chick in Slaughterhouse! Oh, bless her, she's been in some shite, hasn't she? But then Tweak starts having some sort of weird vision where she's surrounded by a cult or something. Not sure what any of this means, and I don't really care, so moving on. Elsewhere in the festival, everyone's having a good old boogie, including Pennywise, who is absolutely off his tits, before it's time to pick a winner for the festival prize draw.
So, tell us what the grand prize is.
A lavender-scented candle! Oh, that's shit! Oh, okay then. How about...
An escape room for two. Creeper themed.
That's better. So they pick a winner and what do you know? It's Tweak, which Chipper is really happy about. So the two of them go backstage and meet the producer in charge of filming the escape room.
I'm Jamie.
But you can call me Jammy, 'cause I like jam. They also meet this internet personality who will be joining them because she doesn't take up much room in the van. I'm going to call her Elf. She seems to like Chipper quite a bit and isn't shy about showing it. Then they all meet up with Hilly Billy, who will be driving them there, right after he's finished stabbing his teeth. But while they're on the road to the escape room house, we see Mr. Sniff driving around before he crashes into the local cell phone tower. Silly bugger, he should have gone to Specsavers. And is it just me, or could Mr. Sniff really do with a shave? Back to the others, who stop at this cemetery, which they have to walk through to get to the house.
Welcome to the Barnabit Family Cemetery.
Or as I like to call it, the cemetery of the Barnabit family. And what the hell is Chipper doing taking selfies with Elf? He's supposed to be proposing to Tweak this evening. Is he off his head? Anyway, she rightly storms off, so Chipper follows her and oh, come on! Why is the cemetery a green screen? Could they not just film it in a real cemetery, for God's sake?
I believe this was made during the pandemic, which might explain a lot.
Yeah, but Ken, some bits are filmed outdoors!
Well, you've got me there.
And Jesus backdrop Christ, this green screen is awful! Elsewhere, the cameraman sees that lady from the festival wandering around. So he follows her, but is then startled by Joe Crow, before he's grabbed by Mr. Sniff and killed off screen. Ugh. Back to Chipper, who decides now is the right time to propose to Tweak because he has no concept of bad timing. But before he can... Oh, don't you just hate it when you're trying to propose and your girlfriend gets snatched by a flying monster? I know I do. Chipper then runs back to the others freaking out and also forgetting how to act. Anyway, they all green screen their way to the house before we see Tweak waking up all tied up in some sort of cave. Then Mr. Sniff in his stupid looking plastic hat stabs her in the belly because he's a big meanie. Back to the others who enter the house and encounter a suicidal chandelier. But then we see these hooded shits from Tweak's premonition who lock everyone in the house.
They're all yours now. Come on.
What, are they part of the cult of Sniff or something? Anyway, everyone thinks that Hilly Billy has something to do with it too, and start getting arsey with him, so he whips out a gun. So everyone takes a chill pill and thinks about what they're gonna do.
Let's figure this out. It's an escape room, right?
It's not a fucking escape room.
It's a trap!
But whatever they're gonna do, they need to do it quick as Mr. Sniff is coming for them, and is apparently struggling to get through a flimsy wooden door. So everyone runs up into the attic, which of course is yet another green screen because real attics are notoriously hard to come by. Then watch out folks, because the Sniffster comes crashing through the window, and we finally get an up-close look at the bugger. And oh no! No!
Look how they mess with my boy.
So Hilly Billy shoots him in the hand a few times before Mr. Sniff does a super high-pitched whistle to make everyone's ears go ouch. Then Chipper decides to attack the creature with a plank of wood because he's an idiot, before the others pull him away to retreat. Meanwhile, Tweak is having herself a good old wiggle, before freeing herself from her binds using a knife that Mr. Sniff conveniently left within arm's reach. Then she picks up some 4-spiked silver sniff wreckers for later and looks for a way out of the cave. Back to the others, who then hear the ceiling start to creak, before... How did she fall out of the ceiling above them when we last saw her in the cave below the house? I mean, it's just... Chipper is very glad to see her, but she's all panicking like...
Let's get out of here.
No shit.
So what do? They run back upstairs where they last saw Mr. Sniff, of course. And if that isn't stupid enough, when they go into this room, Jammy sees a phone in the corner and runs over to it, completely missing the bear trap in the middle of the floor because I cannot bear his stupidity. Anyway, Chipper calls the police and tells the operator a monster is trying to kill them.
Have you been taking drugs?
Yes, but that's besides the point. Then the phone gets pulled out of his hand by Mr. Sniff on the other side of the wall, and back downstairs they go. Bloody hell, they've been up and down more times than a bipolar bouncy ball. Chipper then says the only way they're going to make it out of this is if they kill the creature, which is going to be easier said than done. Tweak has an idea though.
We need to trap it. With what?
A trap. Are you crazy? That'll never work! Then Sniffenstein's monster comes smashing through the door, but as Elf is running away, Mr. Sniff throws a sledgehammer at her head. The others then lock themselves inside this room as Mr. Sniff eats Elf's brain, as if he's going to gain anything from that. So while they're looking around this room to find anything to defend themselves with, Hilly Billy says,
I don't understand how this place isn't burnt to the ground yet.
Probably because nobody's burned it to the ground, mate. Tweak then picks up this doll and, whew, Stretch Armstrong's seen better days. Then because there's no time like the worst time, Tweak tells Chipper,
I'm pregnant.
Yes, I will marry you.
Said with as little enthusiasm as humanly possible. Then she says,
I think I know what we need to do.
Tweak, now is not a good time to play Just Dance. Okay then, let's just poke it with this fire poker. Poke it, poke it! So Hilly Billy and Jammy head upstairs to find Mr. Sniff, but he finds them first and gives Hilly a wall slam before...
Stick around.
Then Hilly Billy gets the ever-loving shit beaten out of him, so the plan is going well. But then he's like, I stab you with the fire poker, poke, poke! Which gives him enough time to run back downstairs where Tweak is waiting for him. And can I just say, whoever redesigned Mr. Sniff for this movie did a terrible job! He looks like an ugly pug! Anyway, she lures Mr. Sniff outside while the fellas head up onto the greenest of green screens, aka the roof, where they plan to drop this spire onto him. But they better hurry up as he's about to give Tweak a belly stabbing, while she has another premonition.
Take the baby. Its life force belongs to you. Live forever.
So let me get this straight. They're now claiming that Mr. Sniff is only immortal because he eats unborn babies.
I believe that's what they're saying, yes.
But that doesn't fit in with the Creeper's law at all! Not once in any of his prior 23-day buffets have we ever seen him do this!
It's all right, lad. It's almost over.
Anyway, Tweak then pulls out her 4-spike silver sniff wreckers and stabs him in the ears, before throwing them into his eyes and saying,
How do you like those peepers, bitch?
Which doesn't even make any sense, and he starts flailing about, before the fellas on the roof throw the spike down with perfect accuracy and impale Senor Sniff right through the mouth. And so the day is saved, but it isn't really, as a bunch of crows rock up and knock Hilly Billy off the roof to his pathetic death, before they swarm Mr. Sniff and take off with him? Ugh, whatever. Then the cops show up, and just in case you thought the green screen couldn't get any worse, it does. Then in a final twist we see Tweak with black eyes, which will never get explained, and we also see Mr. Sniff has regenerated and now somehow looks even worse. End of movie. Thank fucking Christ. And there we have it, folks. Now, there's no sugarcoating this one. Jeepers Creepers Reborn is a diabolical disaster of the highest order, which makes even Jeepers Creepers 3 look like a masterpiece in comparison. It's cheap looking, terribly written, boring, nonsensical, and has the most egregious use of green screen I think I've ever seen. In fact, I think the only positive thing I can say about this movie is at least it wasn't directed by a sex offender. I tell you, somebody needs to reboot this franchise and put some effort into it, because having this as the last movie in the series is just sad. So, the Jeepers Creepers movies, what did you think of them? Did you like them? Did you loathe them? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more. But until next time, here's some outtakes for you. But if that doesn't bother you, then grab you... Oh, need to breathe. I'm struggling to get a good breath today, bloody hell. But if that doesn't bother you, then grab your frozen pigeon-flavoured popcorn. Ran out of breath again. That was the one. Fucking got it that time, you can't get it right, bastard. I've lost my arms. Sharp as a 4-spike silver... You know, part of me's thinking, my brain ain't doing very well. Christ's sake. You've got to be careful around them sons of bitches. Sharp as a 4-spike silver... Bastard! 4-spike silver rubbernecker! Anyway, I better be off. See you in a sec. See you in a sec. Pardon me. Oh! Looks like I win again. Anyway, I better be off. See you in a sec. I sound like one of the bloody goblins of Two Worlds. Pooh.
I have wobbly horns, wobbly horns, wobbly horns. I have wobbly horns.
That was the one. You're usually right. I'm usually the one who's wrong, eh? Ken's the one with the brains. I'm just the gob. Wonderful! It is wonderful!
Long like a stick that goes.
Completely distinct from the rubber wrecker because it wrecks rubber. No. You crows are all a bunch of sick bastards! I love doing the bastards. Bastards! 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 Yeah! Love doing the bastards. Makes me feel good. Wiggle and all! You gotta wiggle the hand when you're doing it. Bastards! You gotta fucking get it wiggling like it's getting out of control. You gotta try and stop it. It's got a mind of its own, man. That's enough. I've got a feeling I haven't clicked record again. I have. Don't worry. Then grab your Yorkshire pudding flavoured popcorn and whip on. I felt myself run out of breath there. I was like, popcorn! Maybe a little overdramatic there, but you know. But I've heard it's shit. And it's probably gonna be shit. Oh, very clever. Go fuck yourself. Not you watching, though. I don't want you going anywhere. Stay here and watch me videos, please. Ruler twanging practice, take 1. Oh, it's a funny noise, isn't it? Oh, fuck me thinking I'm mental. Bloody hell, they've been up there. Bloody hell, they've been up and down more times than a bow. That's probably the least convincing sounding crying of all time.